I was just thinking about kids because two of my friends actually are pregnant. One's due like now and the other one is due in October, so yeah, there's going to be baby fever among my friends really. So yeah, I was thinking quite a bit about it, and I saw a video on YouTube that kind of made me want to make a video about it. Yeah. One of the statements was that you're not having kids because they'll stop you doing things. I don't know anyone really that's had children and it stopped them doing things. I actually totally respect mums and dads that have kids and look after them and they still achieve their goals. They don't think, oh, I've had a baby, oh, I give up, my life is ruined. Yeah, that sort of attitude to me is bull. Because like, having a child doesn't stop you doing things. You can still achieve a lot. Yeah. And also, like, not having kids, like, I don't know, you don't have to have kids, but then I sort of see parents and they always want to be a grandparent. And what happens if you're an only child and you don't have kids? Then who's going to be there to carry on the family line? And yeah, like, it kind of makes me feel sad for the parents really, but then the child, it's your choice if you have a child. You don't have to have them, and you don't have to not have them. Like, people are open to their own choices and things, and you have your own reasons, and sometimes life, even if you never thought, oh, I'm going to have a kid, sometimes you just end up not having one. And then sometimes you plan not to have kids and then you end up with one. And as long as you're happy, that's all that really matters. But for like an only child and parents wanting grandchildren, if you don't have a child, then you kind of feel bad for the parents that want to be grandparents really. Yeah, and another thing is saying, oh, if you don't plan to have a child, you accidentally get pregnant, you're not going to be a good parent. I mean, where the hell did that come from? I want to know who came up with that. Because really, like, what the hell? Like, you can, and people who judge girls that accidentally get pregnant. I mean, contraception isn't 100% unless you're sterilised. Like, I know people who have been on various contraceptions, like using two contraceptions, and they still get pregnant. I mean, like, what? And then people who judge young parents, I'm like, well, age doesn't really mean, like, being like 30 or 40 and having a baby doesn't make you a better parent automatically than a 16-year-old that's pregnant. Doesn't mean she's going to be a bad parent. Like, if you look back, girls were having kids at 14 and all that, and that was considered normal. Now, if a 14-year-old got pregnant, people automatically look at her and think, oh, she's a slag. It's like, she's not going to be a bad parent because she's young, and you're not going to be a good parent because you're old. Also, another thing I saw in the video was gay parents make slightly better parents than straight parents. Where the hell did that come from? Who the hell done that study? I want to know. I want a link to that study that said that. Because you're gay and because you can't accidentally get pregnant don't mean you're going to be a good parent. And because you accidentally got pregnant or whatever doesn't mean you're going to be a bad parent. There are some couples who are straight and are man and wife try for 20 odd years to have a child because it just doesn't happen. And like, oh, that one angered me. And I'm not saying gay parents are bad parents. I think they're equal in my opinion. What about me having kids? I've been asked by my friends a lot, when are you going to have children? And it's not really high on my list. But if I got pregnant, I wouldn't like be like, oh, my life is over. My dreams are to be a nurse and then a paramedic and maybe a midwife as well. I have quite high goals, and I don't think if I had a kid now that would stop me. You can still do it. But if kids end up in my life, they'll end up in my life. Just see what happens.